Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Andrea Hack. So welcome, everyone. It is the 7th day of our Daily Creative Challenge, so we only have 2 more days left, tomorrow and Friday. So I'm very excited for today's challenge. We're going to be working on component states. So this is one of the more fun challenges, I think personally, because I love component states. So welcome everyone in the chat. We've got Abdullah, Zubair, Akin, Rosie, Jack. Welcome everyone. Thanks for coming and joining us. So let's go ahead and hop on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. Takes me just a minute. All right, so this is our homepage where we host all of the daily prompts. So you can come up here and register if you're not already registered. And if you don't already know what the XD Daily Challenge is, each day for 2 weeks, I'll give you guys a prompt or a challenge, and you guys have a little bit of time to design it with me. So let's see what today's is. Scrolling down, only 2 days left. So today we're going to work on component states, like I mentioned. We're going to design a mobile experience where users can browse design-related meetups and events nearby. So like a meetup app, basically, for designers. And we're going to use component states to create a calendar of events that contains a drop-down filter. So we'll be mostly be focusing on the drop-down filter. Again, I feel like component states is one of those super vital parts of prototyping that you can use in like any instance. So it's a good one to learn. So this is what we're going to, a little preview of what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to focus on this. Oh, it was a little too quick. Let me go back. So we're going to be making this sort of drop down. That's what we're going to be focusing on. Let me know if you guys like to see a preview at the beginning, or you just want to be surprised at the end of the live stream of what we're going to be working on. So yeah. All right. So definitely the second part of this is to join us in chat on Discord, which is where our whole XD community is. So you can get feedback on your work and just chat about whatever you want design related. So you can either tap here to sign up, or we've got this link up here. So bit.ly/XD Discord, that's where you can find the link to sign up. So let's hop on over there. This is Discord. Got lots of awesome conversations going on here. So you guys have been submitting a lot of awesome work in this current challenge channel. So these are all of our feedback channels if you're new. So people are sending their prototypes, their links to their project on Behance, and not sure what that one is. So lots of awesome stuff. I already have a few pulled up here that I'm going to review at the end of the stream if we have some time. So I'm very excited for that. Introduce yourself if you're new, and if you want to see just like when we're streaming and such, go to this channel up here, Creative Challenge. Yeah, and you can always see like what mentors are online. We'll give you guys feedback and such. That's over here. So that's a bit about Discord. Let's go ahead and hop into our starter file. I think I forgot to mention that. This is where you can get the starter file. Just hit get started. It'll bring you to Dropbox, and you just hit download and direct download. So this is our starter file for today. All right, so we're going to be working in this area. So this is the components area. Right over here. It's grayed out right now, of course, because we don't have anything selected. We need to start creating some elements and shapes, and then this will appear. So again, we're going to do a sort of meetups app for designers and make a drop-down app for it. So here's some inspo for you guys. This one's by Bhavna. So I'm going to do a mobile app. If you want to do something else, feel free to do that as far as like desktop or smartwatch or something. So I would recommend doing a calendar with more of like a month view instead of like a daily timeline, because there might only be 2 or 3 events per day. So timeline might not make sense, but definitely have like the date, the location, things like that. You can show something like this, like who all is attending. And this one by Nikat, just another example, sort of a calendar. I like this horizontal scroll. You don't see that too often. So feel free to use those as inspiration. Of course, we've got our resource booklet right here. And be sure to share your work on Behance and Discord when you're done. And Behance with that keyword XD daily challenge. And then I got some tips just about like networking, going to meetups and stuff down there if you want to check that out. So I've got 3 artboards already set up. And just for the sake of time, I've got the calendar for February sort of set up already. There's a very cool plugin called Google Sheets. And what you can do if you don't want to spend all the time like typing in all these numbers and stuff, you can use this plugin and it will automatically transfer over all of your data from Google Sheets into your artboard. So that's really cool. Feel free to explore that one. So let's see, I'm gonna start with welcome everyone who is just joining the chat. We've got Joshua, Chris, Anna, welcome. So I'm just gonna start. I usually have just a separate artboard with some of my assets and stuff down here. So I'm gonna bring up a like home icon or settings or something, sort of just our menu. And then I already have a search bar up here. And then I want to add what the month is. So I'm going to say February. And this, if you don't know what this is already, I use this all the time. So this is just for, you can switch between these two. And it just, what's a good way to describe this? It basically contains your text box a little smaller just around the text as opposed to having it huge. So I usually do that. Unless I'm going to be typing out a bunch of stuff. And I've got some character styles already set up over here. So today I'm using Circe, Bold. Not sure if that's how you really say it. And of course, got those from Adobe Fonts. So you can check out Adobe Fonts. Okay, so just these two. Got my little drop down arrow and I got my month. And what I'm gonna do, now you'll see the component panel is not grayed out anymore. So if I don't select it, actually, never mind. You can always select it. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, so we just need to select 2 items. So we want these 2 to be on our drop down. And what I want to happen is when I select this, I want the drop down arrow to flip and I want the rest of the months of the year to kind of fall down. So I'm gonna just tap this plus icon, and this is kind of similar to when we were doing the hover daily creative challenge like 2 days ago, but a little different. So we're still in the components panel, but basically same thing. If you have a green filled in diamond right here, that means that it's your master panel or your master component. And if it's not filled in, then that means it's just an instance. So if I update the master, then all of the rest of my instances will be updated as well. If I update an instance, then they will not be updated, just that one instance. Okay, so we've got our default state. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new state. Last time we did hover, remember, and this time I'm gonna do a new one. I'm gonna say drop down state. Again, you can name it whatever you want, and then just hit enter to confirm that. And now I can start adding some more elements to this. So the main thing you need to remember with components, and the thing that most people will like chat me on Discord with questions about, is they can't figure out how to change going from state to state, or it appears to be the same from state to state after they change something. So you need to make sure you double click in if you're adding something or if you're adding more text. It just has to be within that group. Otherwise it'll affect everything. So I'll go ahead and add some more months: March, April, May, June. And maybe this is like scrollable. July, August. Okay, I'm just gonna do those for now. And I want this little drop down arrow to just flip. So I'll press this over here. And I want to add a background, just something so we don't see all of this part of the calendar behind. So I'm gonna send this to the back. And I don't want any border, just kind of want it to look like modern, with the big kind of bold text like that. Okay, so that looks good. And now let's go ahead and add another state. So if we scroll through these, we've got our default state, we've got our drop down state, and I want to add another. So this is going to be if I select like March or just another month. March selected. So on March selected, we want to bring it back up. So I'm going to delete all those and just say March. And the little drop down arrow, again, we can flip. And we can just get rid of the white background because we don't need it. So default, drop down, and March selected. So that's all we need. And again, you can add as many different states as you want. Feel free to, again, play around with the hover tool within this. A lot of different varieties. So let's go ahead and hop on over into our prototype tab. So we need to add some interactions to this. So you can either tap this little blue arrow right there. It's a little hard to see. Either that little blue arrow, or you can come over here. I usually just prefer to come over here. And the trigger here will be tap. So we want to go from the default state to the drop down state. The action, I'll just do a normal transition action. And the destination here will be drop down state. Ease out, 1 second, maybe 0.6 seconds. Okay, so that one's good. Now from the drop down state to the March selected state, we need to add another interaction. So again, for each one of your states, you need an interaction to link them all together. So the trigger here will be tap, the action, we'll leave it on transition, and the destination will be March. Same thing. And then if we wanted to, we could bring this back to the drop down state. So again, tap, normal transition, and the destination will be our drop down state. Okay, so let's go ahead and preview just that little bit. And when you're previewing, you need to make sure you go back to the default state so you know where it's going to start. So let's hit the play button to preview. Get out of the way so it's not too confusing. Okay, so let's hit the drop down and then we'll hit March. And there we go. And if we hit it again, and so same thing. Pretty simple. We're just using the same kind of interactions for all of them and just adding more states. Cool. So let's hop back into our design tab. And so from this artboard to this artboard, none of the days are selected. So I want to add a selected day. So I'll just copy all of this, put it on the new artboard. And then let's say I'll select the day 12. And I just want this to stand out a bit when it's selected. Just give it a bit of a border. Little blue border. No fill. Bring this up to 2. Okay. So that's selected. Now we can actually see some events down here, let's say, that are on the 12th day. So, got some icons down here. Whoops. Copy those. And let's say the first one's like a movie night. I love this little icon. Isn't that so cute? Little popcorn. Okay, and then this one is like a talk or something, and this one's just like a regular meetup. So let's add some text here. So we'll say the first one's like a movie night. The next one is like designing for accessibility talk or something. Accessibility talk? Spelling, man. And the last one can be just like AIGA. AIGA is like the nationwide design community. There's like different chapters of it. There's probably one by you, wherever you are. Local members meetup. And then we'll give this, let's see if I already have. Okay. And then just a little bit of spacing between each of those lines. Okay. Move this a bit. Move those icons a bit. Okay. So that looks good. Now we need to add a trigger from this artboard to this artboard once we've selected the date. So let's select that. And the triggers tap here. Action. Don't need any auto animate, just normal transition. Let's have it immediate. No delay. Okay, so let's start on this artboard. And again, we select 12. and our days appeared on there. Cool. So then, just the last one, from this artboard to this artboard, I want to actually select one of these events down here. So let's say I select the movie night, and then I want a little card to sort of scroll up and give me some more info about that, like what date and time and stuff. So let's select everything, paste it on the next artboard, and I actually want to group everything so it doesn't get too confusing with all the layers. So I'll add, let's see, I'll go in here. I want to add like an overlay, just the blue color, but a little transparent like this or so. And then I'll add a card just at the bottom, and it can kind of swipe up. We can use auto animate for that. So let's bring in these rounded corners a bit. And let's see. This got a little blurry. I made this in Illustrator, but I guess the map got a little bit blurry. That's okay. And just a reminder, if you are making other elements in like Photoshop or Illustrator or something, and like yesterday we learned that you can come up here to File and open CC Libraries, and you can just grab all of your stuff there and it will automatically be linked, which is really cool. So, okay, let's say we have the map of where this event is, and we need the actual name of the event. So let's add that. So it's a movie night. Movie night. I've been looking for some good movies to watch lately, and I feel like there hasn't been too many. Actually, I watched Parasite recently, and that was crazy. That was a good movie. But other than that, I haven't seen any good ones. Yeah, definitely recommend that one if you haven't seen it. It was like nominated for an Oscar or something. Okay, so let's make this a little smaller. So let's say like just a little description for people to know what it's going to be about. Like join your fellow designers for a movie night. Viewing films that have been influential in the design community or something like that. In the design community. Okay. So that looks good. And then on the right side, I've got some of these little icons. And I want to be able to like tap through these three. So let's say the first one, is our description. We'll keep the popcorn icon. And then the second one can be what time this event is at. And then the third one is just like more calendar details or something. And we'll have the first one selected. So it'll be this blue color. And I'll bring this down to like 10 or so. There we go. Make sure this is in the front though. Bring to front. Okay. So that's looking very cute. Let's move this over just a tad bit. Just reading some of you guys. Akin said, I haven't seen it. Won an Oscar, right? First one in a different language. Yeah, I think it was by a Korean director, if you're talking about the Parasite movie. So maybe it was originally in a different language. Okay, and then down here we can just add some little text. Performing Arts Center. This is the directions. Center. 1234 Main Street, St. Louis, Missouri. This is not a real place. Okay, there we go. Just put that right there. And let's just group all of this, but not the background. And then I'll copy this, paste it on the previous one, and I'll just add a little trigger. So when we select movie night, it will slide this little area up. So I want it to be a tap trigger, but I want the action to be auto animate. So let's make this 1 second, ease out. Okay, so that's our very quick little meetup app for designers. Let's go ahead and preview everything together. Make sure we've got it all the triggers. So we drop down. This was our component states. We can select a different month. Let's drop down again. Oh, well, we have to go back to February, but that's okay. So we select 12 and see what events are on that day. Say we've got a movie night, and then our little movie night slides up. So there you go. Okay, we do need a way to get out of that though. So let's add this close icon right here. And if we press this, let's say it just slides back down. So let's preview that. So from this page, we select the movie night, slides up, we select close, and it slides down. Okay, so let's go ahead and Command S to save. Always wait till the end to do that, which is not a good habit to get into. So if you want to, again, you can press that play button and record all of your interactions. And when you select close, then you can export this as an MP4, which is really cool. So that is how I made this little prototype. Let me get this out of the way. So if you want to do something like that, feel free. But the main thing is when you're sharing, go over to the settings tab, and then within that settings tab, go over to discoverability and add that keyword XD daily challenge so that I can find you guys' work and share it, possibly on the stream, and give you feedback if you like. So let's go ahead and see what you guys have been working on. I've been looking at all your work in Discord. Awesome job. Some of you guys have been doing like literally every single day. So props to you guys. I think like Joshua and Diva especially. So thank you guys if you're watching. Oh, Osborne asked, can you name the font being used? I think this was Circe. Circe? Yeah, it was Circe with 2 S's. Okay, so I'm just searching XD Daily Challenge. Let's just refresh this. And okay. So this one by Marina. Marina's also been doing every single day. So this was the one from yesterday. Is it a prototype? I don't think so. It's flat. That's okay. So we've got all of our clients, bookings. I like the layout here. So we've got our clients over here, phone number, maybe the time that we last chatted with them, payment status. This would be helpful for myself. Very nice. Teams, we've got our to-dos. Yeah, I love this layout. Very clean. Very nice, Marina. Thank you for sharing. This one was by Joshua. And again, this was the one from yesterday with the client. Oh, but actually he decided to do it as a job searching app. I like that. Okay. Is there a prototype? Let's look at the prototype. Settings. So this is the desktop app. We've got all of our jobs over here. And, oh, places you've applied to apply, and interviews. I feel like some people would find this actually super, super helpful. This is so cool. And then your files over here. Upcoming interviews. Online. Wow, man, you put so much work into this. I love this. This is so cool. I'm just like reading all of it. This is so applied. Okay. And the date you applied and such. Wow. Man, awesome job. I would love to see this out in the wild as a real app. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, maybe just one more. So this one's by Kartik. And again, this was the challenge from yesterday. Let's look at that prototype. Got our clients. Ooh, nice little auto animate there with the transition. I love that. Got our list of clients here. And then when you select one row, then we've got the detail view over here, our notes. Very nice. I love that. Okay, guys, that is about all the time that we have left for today. Stay tuned. In about 5 minutes, we're going to have our 2-hour Illustrator live stream actually with Shanti Sparrow. So that'll be a fun one. And I'll be back here again tomorrow at 11:30 Pacific time for our second to last challenge of these 2 weeks. All right, bye guys. Have a good one.